Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Lil Dudes Insect Academy podcast. I just wanted to come on here right before the episode started and make a little bit of an announcement to you all. So this week we're back with another episode, but before we get to it, I wanted to go over a few things. So, first of all, if you're new to the show, Lil Dudes Insect Academy is an organization that I created. I'm Bradon. Nice to meet you if you haven't been here before, but so Lil Dudes, I created. I'm super into insects, always have been, and I believe that the world will be and can be a better place if we have more people who study bugs, because everything that we do every single day, where it comes from our food to our medications, the medical industry, it is all heavily influenced by insects and the world of entomology. So, the whole goal of Lil Dudes Insect Academy is to create more entomologists. So that's what we're here for. I talk with entomologists on the show that you're about to see here shortly, but the way we're able to do this and make this happen is we are a nonprofit foundation. So if you're interested in contributing to this goal that we have of creating more entomologists and getting the world out there about entomology, visit our website. There's more information about us there and about myself as well. And consider making a donation as well. So if you donate, that really helps us out a lot. It makes this show possible. And you're really contributing to the future of science and entomology and making more scientists. So it's really exciting. You can do that through our website through a one-time gift, or the best way to support us would be through our Patreon, which is a monthly subscription, which is cancelable anytime. But yeah, it's a monthly recurring donation that really helps us out, pay our bills, keep us running. And also we have some really cool exclusive posts and benefits for you there. So you'll get the podcast episode a day early every week. And for some of the higher levels, you'll get your name at the end of some of the YouTube videos. So if you're interested in supporting the show and keeping it going and contributing to the future of science, definitely head over to our website, check out our Patreon. The links to that will be in the show notes, and if you're on YouTube, it'll be in the description of this episode. But without further ado, let's get back to this episode. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Lil Dudes Insect Academy podcast. I am here in Washington, D.C. at the ESA conference this year, and I've been talking with entomologists all day and all week, and here I am across the table with Carolina, my new friend, and so welcome to the show, Carolina.
Thank you.
It's so nice to see you, and go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Carolina. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm from Brazil. I'm doing my pursuing my master's degree here. Actually, I just finished it a couple weeks ago. I just defended my
Congratulations
thesis.
on that.
Thank you. I was working with rice stink bugs, which is a very serious pest of rice. And I was trying to find ways of controlling these agricultural pests that cause a lot of injury on rice. So we were checking on natural enemies of these insects. We were also looking at biological insecticides to possibly replace those that are being used nowadays for a more greener, more sustainably options, and possibly give options also to organic production, which on which these insects are not managed nowadays.
Nice. Yeah, okay, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but let's go back to some of your schooling. Where are you in that process, and where did you go, and what were some of the things you worked on so far?
Okay, so I did all my schooling until my undergrad in Brazil.
Okay.
So I went to mainly Catholic schools while I was a child.
Okay.
And then I went to a public university in Brazil.
Nice.
And then I pursued biology as a major.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so you got that biology major. Where did you do that?
In São Paulo State.
Okay.
In Brazil. And it was interesting because it was not in my hometown. I had to move to go to college.
Nice.
It was in a different city, my first challenge. And it was a great experience that opened my view to insects more, because I hadn't had much contact with them in school. in biology, we looked at all different sorts of living creatures, but then that's where my passion for insects started.
Nice.
In my undergrad.
Very cool. Yeah, so you mentioned you just finished your master's, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how did that go, and where did you do all of that at?
I got my master's from University of Florida.
Okay.
I first came to University of Florida as an intern, actually,
Nice.
in 2019. I spent 6 months in there working also with agricultural pests.
Nice.
And then in 2021, I came back, and then I started pursuing my master's in there with the subject that I mentioned previously, the stink bugs, rice pests.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit more about that. What have you found with those rice pests, and what are some of the solutions to this problem?
Okay, now they're pretty much managed with some conventional insecticides, which are pyrethroids. Those are very harmful broad-spectrum insecticides. They affect not only the targeted pest, but also their natural enemies that are living in there.
Mm-hmm.
So we were trying to find alternatives for this, and first we looked at their natural enemies. We were trying to find predators, maybe parasitoids, all those sorts of other insects that would attack them.
Right.
And other aspect of the study was to look at the biological insecticides. So summarizing everything that I looked at during my program, during this research, we found some natural enemies for these insects, and possibly next step would be trying to see if we could use these natural enemies to become commercial products to be applied and released in other areas where these benefit insects, they don't occur naturally.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about this alternate pesticide that you've been working with.
Okay, these alternative pesticides, they are mainly microbiologicals. So instead of using those conventional chemicals, we would be relying more on microbes. Fungi, bacteria-based, and this would be friendly even to organic production. These are accepted in the organic production. So far, we did not have very exciting results in this way. We are still conducting some more trials on this.
Yeah.
But
it takes time for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I believe in the near future we will likely find something and be able to provide like alternatives to this production.
Yeah. So why are these rice pests such a problem? Are they invasive, or why are they something to worry about?
Well, in Florida, I worked in a complex of pests. There are actually 3 species involved. One of them are distributed throughout rice-producing states, except California here in the U.S. And the other 2, they are mainly distributed in South and Central America.
Okay.
So Florida provided the opportunity of looking at this very unique combination in the complex of these 3 species that affect the rice. And what they do, they are stink bugs, and stink bugs have their piercing, sucking mouth. So they will pierce the rice plants where the rice is formed. So this, depending on the developmental stage of the rice,
right?
The plant might produce atrophied grains, or even grains that have like feeding marks. They are fragile to the milling process, which the rice pass before getting to our tables. And then if the rice is attacked by these insects, in the end it becomes unmarketable. So depending on the populations, the density that we find in the fields, we might end up losing all the production in the field.
Yeah. Wow. So really important work, because rice is like a main food supply for the whole world. Yeah. So Yeah, that's great. Yeah, so I was wondering, how did you originally get interested in entomology specifically? Like, how did that come about? Was it kind of a sudden curiosity, or was it forever?
Well, I believe that, like most people, when I was young, I was scared of certain insects and a big fan of others, like the opposites, like cockroaches and butterflies.
Yeah, yeah, the big differences. Yeah.
Yes, but then it was during grad school. Grad school, no, so, I'm sorry. During my undergrad in biology, while I was testing different areas in biology, that I found out about entomology, and my curiosity grew on trying to know more about insects, and I end up loving them. I worked in a laboratory during my undergrad, working with insect biology. So it was already a laboratory focused on agricultural pests and their natural enemies by the time. And then we were studying like their life cycles, different sorts of development in insects, and I knew back then that this was something that I wanted to work with.
Yeah.
I learned to like all sorts of insects, from roaches to butterflies.
Yeah.
And I followed studying them up until now. And
Yeah.
my plan is to keep going with research, studying these little creatures. They're great.
Nice. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, so we're here at ESA. What were you here for this year? Did you have talks that you wanted to go to, or talks that you were giving? Like, or were you just hanging out for the week? What were you doing here at ESA this year?
Well, this year I came first to present this work that I conducted during my master's.
Yeah.
So I had a talk yesterday on my natural enemies that I studied for the rice pests.
Yeah.
And also yesterday I had a poster on the biological insecticides. So
Nice.
I came to present this research that we conducted, but also to check on some other talks, some other posters, things
Yeah,
that
for sure.
people have been doing. And it was great to see that this year more than one person was working with the same pests that I was.
Oh, really?
Yes,
That's awesome.
It's not usual to see it.
Yeah.
And I tried to attend as much talks as I could, not only in these insects that I'm interested at, but also my friends, to see and interact with everybody, the people
Yeah.
that we usually don't see
Yeah.
on a daily basis, that we don't usually
Yeah,
work
reconnect.
together.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a great opportunity to connect, make new friends,
Yeah.
and see what's going around.
Great. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. So, who was kind of your inspiration with the world of science and kind of life in general? Like, who do you look up to, and who inspires you?
Well, I think my first inspiration was my first advisor that I had in my first experience as an intern during my undergrad.
Yeah.
I started in a microbiology lab,
Yeah.
and from there, all my advisors that I had, they have been great inspirations for me. I only had good experiences working with these professors, sharing knowledge. And now my main inspiration is my previous advisors, my current one, and people that I've been working with.
Yeah.
My friends on pursuing what they love to do. I think that's important, and it's something that I see on a person, and it's kind of magnetic, you know.
Yeah.
Like, it serves as an inspiration when
Yeah.
you see someone doing what they love to do.
For sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Everybody here in that at this event is like so inspiring and
Yeah.
so awesome. Yeah. Yeah. So in your spare time, what are some other hobbies or activities that you enjoy, related or not, to entomology?
Okay, I really like to read fiction.
Nice.
Yeah. I like to cook, but I also like to continue doing my insect collection
Yes.
that I started doing now in my master's. we did a big one for one of the courses that we took.
That's cool.
But then I developed a passion for that too, and now every chance that I have, I go collect these insects and put in a beautiful collection.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Yeah. Okay, so what are your like big plans for the future? Like, are you looking at going into a PhD maybe in the future? What are your plans?
Well, now that I just finished my master's, my next steps, yes, are pursuing the PhD. I developed a love for research, so I see myself in the next couple of years pursuing this PhD. I'm already talking to some possible professors.
Nice. That's awesome.
And I see myself in the future still working with research, possibly to a company, in the private sector, for the industry. I don't see why not stop doing it, because I really like.
And there's a big need for this, rice pest, and it has big implications for sure.
Yes.
So this is important.
And so many other pests, like agriculture is a big thing.
Yeah.
If you eat, you're involved with agriculture.
Exactly.
And not only this pest that I just worked with, but so many others attacking crops that we need to be checking on.
Right.
And I believe this is a good path to follow.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lastly, before we wrap this up, was there any place that the viewers can go to learn more about what you're doing? Maybe if you have social media or website, maybe, or maybe the website for the lab you've been working in. Where can we go to learn more about you?
Well, I've been very active on LinkedIn and on Twitter.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can find me there by my name on LinkedIn, Carolina Tiepo Camarozano, and on Twitter I'm at Carol Tiepo.
Nice.
Tiepo is Tieppo.
Yeah, and I'll leave the links to those in the
Okay.
show notes so that you guys can go and check those out. But thank you so much for being on the show.
Sure,
this
it
was
was
so
a
much fun. Great conversation, and so nice to get to know you.
Thank you so much. It was an honor.